the season back into the wild. Nowadays our captive bred veterinary costs are pretty high. They're susceptible to all kinds of infections like West Nile, aspergillosis. They can get E. coli and salmonella poisoning just like a person from the food not being clean. They need routine vet care just like a dog or a cat. So they get vaccinations. Some of them are microchipped. So some of our birds have bands and they're numbered, and it's registered with U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. So you can see the blue band on his right leg. So they're numbered and they're all registered with the state and with the federal government. We do lots of paperwork. The process to even become a falconer involves a 2-year apprenticeship with a ton of paperwork, being sponsored by a licensed falconer, more paperwork, and then anytime you receive or transfer a bird to another person, there's all kinds of paperwork that goes everywhere. So every single bird is well documented and accounted for and supervised by all kinds of people.
We're about to do what they call lure stooping. It's a traditional exercise and training for falcons. So this is an exercise program that kind of gets them in shape and in tune to the whole falconry aspect. And it's fun too, it's a game. It's a game of keep away. I have to swing this while the bird's flying around. The bird's trying to catch it from me. When he catches it, he gets paid with a reward. And he likes to do it. And this is Duncan. He's 8 years old, 9 years old. I captive bred him. He did 3 years at Wings Over the Springs, so he's an education bird. He's done 5 years protecting blueberry crops in Washington, and he currently does this kind of stuff and any kind of educational work that we do around town. He's not a hunting bird. We can train the hunting behavior out of him by substituting it with something like this.
So this activity imitates what a wild falcon would do chasing prey. So falcons hunt by going up really high in airspace and then stooping, which is coming straight down onto the prey and kind of knocking it out of the sky. So what he's trying to do is catch that lure. And that wild peregrine came by to see it's still over there, is just trying to see what this bird is doing, because this is another predator in its territory. So birds of prey are territorial. They have an area that they hunt, and different types of birds of prey can live together in kind of the same area if they're kind of hunting different prey. So they know that one is going to compete with them and one won't.
Let's go. So he didn't catch the lure today. I didn't let him have it, so you can see him land on the glove. But 50% of the time he beats me, catches me where I get tired, my arm gets tired. So we're challenging each other. But so he's just intent to do that whole thing. But that's the same behavior that we're able to do in situations where there's nuisance birds. And it just gives relief, you know, to people that are having problems. And this is a hood. This goes back thousands of years. This is how we're able to travel. As far as like maybe pigeon control on a house, it's not going to work. You have to sit out in your front yard and fly the falcon every time the pigeons landed on the roof. But when you have a vast area, other than anybody.
Such as a casino.
Casino, or you know, an airport if you've got birds landing in the middle of the day, or a landfill. See, what happens is when you have a landfill like our transfer station, it attracts a lot of birds that get very dependent on trash. And then they can carry the E. coli's and the bacteria to fresh water sources or to wherever they're roosting and raise all those bacteria levels. So a lot of people that I know in the industry protect landfills, where they'll go, instead of being 10,000 seagulls and ravens and crows rifling through the trash, there's none. But in Vegas, we don't really have a lot of agriculture. We have one landfill, which I don't think is an issue. It's usually in the area that the place is. It's locational. I'm more local based now. So we're just doing what we do around the house. in Vegas. You have to kind of be living on the road to do the agriculture from job to job, kind of like construction workers, right? Go where the work is.
For more information on these licensed and insured falconers, visit airbornecontrolservice.com. We must take a short break, but when we come back, we'll meet Benny, the ice skating dog. This is County Critters.
The more pet-friendly our community becomes, the more important it is to make sure your pet is up to date on its vaccinations. Vaccines help prevent many contagious diseases that can be fatal for pets. Your dog or cat can be susceptible to diseases if it is outdoors at all, socializes with other animals, or travels with you. Annual rabies shots are required, but several other vaccines are strongly recommended within the first 6 to 8 weeks of your pet's life. Boosters are also needed. Don't wait. Talk to your vet today. Let's keep our pets safe, healthy, and happy.